Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. It's Andrade and Irwin back at it again. You guys know what we're on right now. We're doing the NBA Team Profile Series. We talk about our thoughts, our floor, our ceiling on every single NBA team heading into this specific season. We did the bottom five in the West, the bottom five in the East. Every team after that got their own individual video. And right now, we're hopping over to the Western Conference, to the state of Utah, where we're going to be talking about the Utah Jazz with their star, Donovan Mitchell.
Yo, they got two superstars over here. They got obviously Spider, Donovan Mitchell,
Spidey.
maybe the next D Wade, and especially with the way he performed in the
Maybe
in the
he'll
postseason.
also end up making an appearance in the next Spider-Verse movie, Spider-Man 3.
Yes, sir. Only the real ones know about that. And we got the man.
That'd be cool as fuck.
We got the man that shut down the league last year. We're talking about Mr. Rudy Gobert. Yo,
He's so powerful. Powerful, man. He touched a couple mics and he closed the whole
shut
shit.
down the
whole
league.
league.
Nah, pretty much he shut down the whole country, man. I'm like,
Yo.
I'm like, real talk, man. I'm like, I wasn't really paying attention too much to Corona till like, yo,
Rudy Gobert is
he
the
touched
reason
down,
the
then, like,
U.S. entered the pandemic.
yeah, for real. That's like,
Could
he
you imagine?
put the pandemic on notice. And I'm like, damn, now it's serious. I'm like,
Yeah, low key.
I like low key, but high key. What do you think about the Jazz, man?
Bro, I mean, it's going to be interesting because I'm not going to lie. I kind of forgot about it until you brought it up. Like, that whole Gobert-Mitchell relationship was on the fritz when all that happened because Gobert is suspected to have given Mitchell Corona at the time. And at the time, we didn't know what it was. So it was, like, super, like, whoa, high risk and all that. I think things have been patched up, They went back into the bubble. They did their thing. But I'm still a little skeptical if there's any lingering, maybe some tension or some shit. Because when you go through something like that, it's hard to gain back that trust or whatever. But believe it or not, the Utah Jazz led the regular and postseason in 3-point percentage. And in a 3-point shooting league, that's a big, big benefit. So that gives me some hope that, if they keep improving on that, shit, maybe they're on some Warriors Rockets benefit, a little wave right now. We saw Donovan Mitchell reach into his bag last playoffs, which reminded us of his stellar playoff performance from his rookie season, which is a great sign because it goes to show that he has that it factor. And for me, it was a big thing because I was a big believer in Donovan when he did that during his rookie season. And then the sophomore season in the playoffs, he wasn't at the same level. So it was like, oh shit, was last season just kind of a fluke? Or maybe he just, had a really good season. But then he was able to prove it again. And for me, it's all about consistency. If you can prove that consistency in the playoffs, then you're good. And I think with that, having a star who can consistently perform in the postseason is key to winning the championship.
Definitely.
So I think it's safe to say that Utah has found their star. They lost theirs
easily
a couple years ago in Gordon, but guess what? They got Donovan back.
Who do you think is better, Utah Gordon or Spider?
Damn, bro.
Come on, it's easy.
Right now, I'd probably give it to Gordon because he has technically taken the Jazz further.
Spider. I think Spider's more talented.
And I'm thinking about specifically right now. Now I do talent. Oh, man, the thing is, if Gordon Hayward didn't have that injury, bro, when I watched his last playoff performance on the Jazz, that shit tripped me out. I was like, damn, this man can ball. You know what I mean? Like it really took me off guard because he wasn't really on my map before that. Like obviously heard of him, but not like that. And then maybe Mitchell does, but Mitchell is shorter. That's what for me. Like in the NBA, like height. It's not the most important thing, but it plays a big factor, especially with like defense and all that. But now with this current Jazz squad, they mostly kept the same roster.
Yep.
With Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley being a key pieces to keep, and then they added Derek Favors, which is gonna help keep their second unit solid. So I don't know. For me, it's like they're a good team. I don't think they're going to make any significant noise in the West, especially in the postseason. I capped their ceiling at 4th to 5th seed with a second round exit. And that's their ceiling. So I really don't see them making the Western Conference Finals this year. Like even like if at their peak.
You're sleeping on them, bro.
And maybe. And their floor, I kind of cap it between 5th to 7th seed from them possibly imploding during the regular season and taking a step back after last season's good run, because that sometimes happens with teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if it could end up happening to this Utah Jazz.
Yo, for once, I think this is the first time in the profile series that you are heavily sleeping on a team.
And you're going to give them like a much better...
The Jazz are just everywhere in the NBA that you see like analysts. A lot of people are sleeping on them. You got to take into consideration, you got a superstar and Donovan Mitchell that they perform really well in the postseason. You got to take into consideration as well.
A defense superstar.
They got a defense superstar in Gobert. They got a nice veteran in Conley. They made a nice signing with Derek Favors. But what I really wanted to get to is they pushed the Nuggets to 7 games last year, and they didn't have a key player that was injured last year in Bogdanovich. That he scored 20 plus points per game. They're gonna get that guy back.
Okay.
You don't think that's gonna make a difference? You know, when it comes to the regular season to get a better matchup.
Yes. No, you're right.
Another thing to take in consideration with the Jazz as well is you'll be thinking like, hey, they got Gobert, they got Favors. This is gonna be a very clogged up team. That they're not gonna have that much spacing per se. But actually, the Jazz in the regular season and in the playoffs as well, they led the league in 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
In the percentage, you gotta take that into consideration as well. This squad has stayed together for quite a bit. At least, you know, their main 2 guys.
True.
Which is better.
3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years, which is better than most teams. And it's going to be very key when it comes to as well, you know, in this condensed 72-game season. You know, and whatever uncertainty is going to go on. But to what I say, the ceiling per se, don't be surprised if the Jazz
reach the finals. No, I'm just kidding.
Hell no. No, they're not getting past LeBron, and they're not getting past. They may get past the Clippers, but they're not getting past LeBron. I say they're gonna make. They'll probably make the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, probably. So that's not just your ceiling. That's what you also see happen.
It could happen. Look, if
you said probably, so I was like, is that where you put cap?
Look, if they stay healthy, Donovan Mitchell does his thing. Gobert does his thing. Conley. We can kind of see the Mike Conley back of the Grizzlies, and if
Conley can bring that back, then it's a little that would change my analysis a little more. But I'm not so sure about that.
If Bogdanovich does the same thing as he's been doing, like, you know, last year before he got injured, you know, that he brings that scoring, bro, I don't see any reason why not. They can make that as a ceiling. Now, obviously, you know, that's like if things play out really well. If they don't play out really well for a floor. Let's say whether it's injuries or not, then yeah, they're probably gonna get bounced in the first round, and then the talk's gonna be being, you know, hey, Gobert, you know, who they're gonna trade, you know, Mitchell. He just signed that.
Gobert can get crazy money.
Yeah, because the talk's gonna be being like, hey, should we trade Gobert? We don't want to pay the guy, you know, should we trade him for the deadline?
Okay.
You know, type stuff. But
I mean, you remember when we did that whether they should leave or not video on Donovan and Giannis? Like, I said Donovan, I believe. I think he should leave. I don't see him winning the championship at any point during his Utah stay.
But they got a very good team, so it could happen.
Yeah, it's a good organization.
A lot of things got to play out the right way, but hey, you never know. It's 2020, but you guys let us know in the comments. We appreciate all the love and the hate, guys. You can catch us on TikTok, on Twitter, on Insta, Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. We'll catch you guys soon, but for now,
take care.